The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shoshina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, a cooperative movement in the country with reason to celebrate as they move their 40th anniversary celebrations to Grand Bahama this weekend. Joan Davis Roll reports.
Cooperatives on Grand Bahama pulling out all the stops as they stage a massive Cooperative Expo, bringing together members in a spirit of cooperation on the grounds of the four-way Co-op Plaza here in Freeport. The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Dobble, speaking on behalf of the Minister responsible for cooperatives, the Honorable V. Alfred Gray. Minister Dobble noted that cooperatives are powerful financial institutions in this country, hence leading the way for economic growth and development.
In the execution of the plans for Expo 2014, you have demonstrated a unified cooperative movement with a membership that is fast approaching 40,000 people and a combined asset in excess of $330 million. Ladies and gentlemen, that's good. That's worthwhile copying. Hamilton said clearly that this is a serious organization. When we're talking about the accumulation of wealth assets in excess of $330 million, this is no dolly house. This is serious financing. Ladies and gentlemen, these statistics speaks well of the corporate sector and further advancement of this important movement that is changing the lives and creating wealth and opportunity for thousands of Bahamians. But unfortunately, even today, many Bahamians still need to be exposed to cooperative principles and philosophies, as well as the many benefits of becoming a part of this very innovative and dynamic business model.
Minister Dobble, who is also a medical doctor, says the time has come for more Bahamians to equate health with wealth.
As a healthcare provider in this community for many years, I have demonstrated the importance of healthy lifestyles. That is why today I'm so pleased to be a part of an event that demonstrates the synergy between health and fitness and financial wellness. The fusion of health and wealth at this expo only reaffirms the direction we must head as a government and a country in order to reduce the instances of non-communicable diseases that are threatening our complete existence.
Director of Cooperative Development Nathaniel Adderley emphasized the important role that cooperatives continue to play in the country. He commended organizers for staging the expo as they galvanized the support of stakeholders and members of the community.
This 40th year is a defining year for cooperatives in the country, and it gives us a chance to plan and to chart the course where we want to be in the next 40 years. Obviously, the co-op business model and credit unions in particular have served to provide empowerment and ownership for many Bahamians. But I believe that we have not done as well as we could do in terms of penetrating the market. I think we are something like 9-10% of the market, and we need to do a little bit more about that. This event, therefore, in my mind, I hope it will assist in raising the profile, raising the visibility here in Grand Bahama, as we seek to tell our story with more Bahamians.
Joan Davis Roll, ZNS Network News.
A local charitable organization established to provide hope for kids with cancer sounding the alarm this evening about a possible scam operating on Grand Bahama. Coordinator of the Camp Good Days program, Terry Goldsmith, telling ZNS News that unscrupulous persons are soliciting funds in his name. Goldsmith is warning the public that no one has been authorized to collect funds on his behalf, and he is condemning those who are carrying out this criminal act.
This is some type of scam, which is sad that people are coming that low, that they are using young children who are medically challenged and using my name and my reputation to try and scam the public. And I want the public to know that Terry Goldsmith is as honest as they come, and that every penny that they donate to the Lions Club or through me to the Lions Club goes right to those children. And I have nothing to do with any lottery or what do you call the other thing? Raffle of any kind. And so if you could please let the public know that this is, anybody calls them about a lottery and uses my name, that is a scam.
Well, Goldsmith himself, a cancer survivor, says that such a scam can only hurt the kids and the Camp Good Days program in the future. He is advising those involved in the alleged scam to cease and desist for the good of the children.
It's the children that lose, and that's why I'm quite angry over this. Someone is using my name to scam the public in the name of children, and that is wrong. It is disgusting. It really is disgusting that people have stooped this low, and that they will possibly interfere with, future trips for these children who suffer enough. I mean, I'm a cancer survivor, and God knows I know what I went through, so God knows what these young children go through. It's an absolute disgrace.
Now, ZNS News has confirmed that this matter has been reported to the police. While a Texas diver is still missing in waters off West End, U.S. Coast Guard officials say they have found a substantial amount of dive gear within the search area, but 63-year-old chiropractor John Petty has not been found. U.S. and local authorities have been searching for Petty since Sunday night. He was among a group of divers on board a commercial dive vessel taking part in a shark diving adventure about 20 miles out of West End. Coast Guard officials say the captain of the vessel alerted the authorities when Petty did not resurface. The search continues for the Texas diver. Police are searching tonight for two men wanted on murder charges. A resident of Nelson Road, 27-year-old Fabian Livingston Roll, aka PJ, is considered armed and extremely dangerous, and police say he should be approached with caution. Roll, a carpenter by profession, is of slim build, 150 to 160 pounds, about 6 feet 1 inch, and of dark brown complexion. Police say Roll, aka PJ, is known to frequent the Garden Villas area. Now, the second suspect is 21-year-old DeAndre Carville Hamilton of the Heritage Subdivision. A Mason helper, he is also considered armed and extremely dangerous and is known to visit the Garden Villas area on a regular basis. Hamilton has brown complexion, about 140 pounds, thin built, and about 5 feet 8 inches tall. Now, if you have any information on the whereabouts of DeAndre Carville Hamilton and Fabian Livingston Roll, you are asked to contact police at 352-9774 or 5-350-3106 through 12, 911-919, or your nearest police station. And police are also looking for a Nassau man who they believe may be living in Freeport or Abaco. This suspect, 31-year-old Hensley Sands of Palm Beach Estates and Palm Beach Street, New Providence, is wanted by the Drug Enforcement Unit for questioning on the charge of possession of dangerous drugs. Sands stands between 5 feet 7 inches tall, medium built, with dark brown complexion. If you can help police locate Hensley Sands, pick up the telephone and dial 397-3800 or your nearest police station. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Local Rotarians taken on a tour of the African safari today. The group of businessmen heard from a world-renowned African safari guide and hunter, Ivan Carter, who is the host of the TV show Outdoor Channel Tracks Across Africa. Megan Shepard went along.
President of the Rotary Club of Sunrise, James Sarl, says that TV host Ivan Carter was selected as the guest speaker for a specific reason.
I was able to meet Ivan and from a business standpoint, and now we've developed a friendship, and I knew that he had a lot of information about conservation in Africa, and he wanted to speak here. I asked him if he could speak here, and what he spoke about is relevant in Africa, but it also is relevant for us in the Bahamas with regards to conch and crawfish. And really, it was very educational, and we can learn a lot from him.
Ivan Carter says his job is to take clients on hunting safaris in Africa, but it is about much more than the hunt. He says he actually does it from a conservation perspective.
A lot of people will say, well, Ivan, how can hunting be conservation. Surely they're the opposite of each other, but it's not at all, because when people are paying money to go and do something, it gives that activity value. So if people pay money to go and shoot a particular animal, it gives that animal value. And as we all know, stuff with value is stuff that people want to have, it's what they want to preserve, it's what they want to keep, and it's stuff that's got a future. So particularly in the third world, anything with value has got future. And it's the hunters that visit there that give a lot of these things values.
Carter says that the safari hunting business is a multi-billion-dollar-a-year industry, and that as long as people are prepared to pay for the experience, then there will always be a future for wildlife in Africa. He says that people often think that certain animals are endangered, but in reality, they are well managed and very sustainable. He uses the rhino as an example.
On private land in South Africa, people will pay $150,000 to shoot a rhino. Now you say, well, how can that be right? Well, you're choosing a rhino that's past breeding, you're choosing an old rhino that would have died on its own anyway, and that $150,000 put into African currency can do a huge amount for the preservation of that species, for anti-poaching, for buying new blood into the area, and basically for conserving and preserving that species and the management of that species. If you weren't allowed to, if that rhino wasn't able to generate that money, there's a lot of private individuals that would have no interest whatsoever in having a herd of rhino on their property.
The safari hunting is not only beneficial to these businessmen, but it also aids the local cattle ranchers and citizens as well.
The cattle ranchers have looked and they've said, you know what, I can make more money out of wildlife than I can out of cattle. And because I can make more money out of wildlife, I want to have wildlife, and I'm going to get rid of my sheep and my cattle. So it's a very important part of that conservation wheel, added to which that the meat that is generated by the hunting still goes to the local population. So the local communities still benefit from the meat that they would have got if they'd hunted themselves.
Carter says the safari hunting industry is crucial to the conservation of many animals. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Well, if you want to watch some of the work of this African Safari Guide, log on to www.ivancarter.com. In other news, the severe shortage of limes has caused prices to skyrocket in the United States, and the blame is pointed at Mexico, the main supplier of limes for the U.S. Now, as the government continues to encourage Bahamians to start farming, one resident says he has heeded the call. A major lime shortage has pushed lime prices through the roof. Retired public officer with the Bahamas government, Kennard Bethel, says since returning to his home in Andros, he has started farming. He says as an independent nation, Bahamians must take self-sufficiency seriously.
But however, a lot of Bahamians, as they should, are practicing how to grow oranges. But limes, we can grow enough limes to sustain us.
He recalls growing up in Andros, how every yard had at least 2 or 3 lime trees.
I got agriculture to come down and visit, and they gave me some pointers. But right now I'm putting my emphasis on the native lime, the key lime, because they will grow anywhere you plant them actually, and you can plant them back from the seed. The Persian lime, you plant the Persian lime seed, anything could grow, bittersweet lemon, orange, Persian lime. But with the key lime, they're strong. This is the atmosphere, this is their climax, this is their habitat. You can throw the seeds anywhere and they'll grow. And so you can, when you use your key lime, you pot the seeds, and in about a month or two, you have a nice little tree that's about 4 to 6 inches tall. You can set it out the way you want to.
According to reports, there are a combination of factors that have pushed up the prices of Persian and key limes, from bad weather to Mexican gangs hijacking trucks and extorting money from those who grow limes. But Bethel is encouraging Bahamians to become more self-sufficient in food production.
Potatoes, coconuts, we should not be importing those things. Cassava, we should not be importing them. We should be growing them, because we can grow enough potato, cassava cheaply in potholes and farms in all through the Bahamas.
However, he says he is not farming limes commercially yet.
They've been growing for about 3 years. I've been giving them away just to explain to people, you see what can be done. Mr. Bethel, where'd you get all these nice limes from? In my garden. Some want to go and see, and I showed them and say, oh my God, you did all this since you came here? And I'm growing everything, papayas, avocados, sapodilla, everything, but I'm emphasizing limes because they're very marketable.
Bethel says he respects the government's continuous call for Bahamians to become self-sufficient. However, there is a lack of knowledge and financial resources by many who may be interested.
The people who they expect to be growing these limes in potholes or in cleared land, they don't have money to clear the land. And then after that has happened, they don't have the knowledge on how to treat the product, either the trees or the fruits. And so the government has to establish programs in detail where they can send representatives to all the different islands, different times, and explain and have them come back and check and give them assistance to prepare the land and also how to cause the trees to grow well. You have certain fertilizers that can make the branches grow big, more branches, more fruits. You have certain fertilizers that will protect the fruits against insects and other diseases. All these things they don't know. And so some people are trying. They hear this all the time in speeches from people in government, people in agriculture, but the real core is helping them to do it because they don't know how to do it.
Finally, in news this evening, newly elected councillors of the City of Freeport District Council making a courtesy call on officials of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Chief Councillor for the City of Freeport District Council, Sharita Campbell, outlining some key initiatives and immediate concerns in the city from street lighting, road paving, truancy, fire hydrants, and the water supply. She says the new council wants to move beyond the fixing, repairing, and cleaning of parks. City Administrator Alexander Williams was also a part of that delegation. He expressed his hope that the Port Authority would continue regular quarterly discussions with the council as had been established by previous administrations. Administrator Williams noting that elected councillors represent the voices of the masses of the people and they're here to share with the Grand Bahama Port Authority and central government the concerns of the people. Port President Ian Rowe was happy to welcome the newly elected officers, noting that it was important for both parties to become better acquainted in order to forge immediate relationships with regards to servicing the needs of local citizens. He pledged the port's commitment to fostering private-public partnerships, calling it a new day, moving forward with new faces to work together to match the demands of the people and improve the quality of life for persons living on Grand Bahama. And that's a look at stories making news this evening. Stay with us. Ricardo Lightborn has a check on sports when we come back.
Hey everybody, it's Sports Time. I'm Ricardo Lightborn. Tonight, dedicating sports to Rakia Lightborn and the new prefects at Bishop Michael Eldon for the 2014-15 school year. Congratulations, kids. Make sure it happens. This just coming into our sports desk, folks. Quarter miler Demetrius Pinder just ran the fastest time in the world in 300 meters in Belgium in a time of 32.05 seconds. He runs again on Saturday in Spain the 400 meters. And also get this. He was not named to the Bahamas Commonwealth Games team that heads to Glasgow, Scotland. Things that make you say, y'all must be joking, right? Anyhow, let's move on. The Grand Bahama Amateur Softball Association on the diamond at the Plex. Candace Wolverines over the Port Side Flyers, 7-0. That's a ladies' affair. As far as the men, Eliminators and Couriers, let's go to the field. Freddie Cornish got the nod for the XL Eliminators against the Rising Couriers, and the young Rising team came to play and gave the Eliminators fits. Cornish took the game personal and went to the money pitch, and he gets the strikeout. Elnet on offense, and the game plan is to control this one. The next batter, fly ball to left field. The mental lapse by the Eliminators on base running. The Couriers playing heads up ball. They get the double play. Softball is a game of momentum and smarts. Watch the Couriers catcher pick off this runner. That's a bang-bang play and a rise in control of this one. Elnet Freddie Cornish found his groove and down 5-4 to the Couriers. Got a break, a check swing, and he'll need a total team effort in this one. Top of the inning, Michael Sweeting trying to rally the troops. That's a base hit to left field. That would be short-lived. Pop up to first. The Rising Couriers held on 5-4. Albert Sims got the win, and Freddie Cornish was saddled with the loss. Also at Slow Pitch Affairs, the D's drivers over the Police Crime Stoppers 9-4, and also Junior Grant, they in turn defeated the BUT Bulldogs 5-4. The Sires team won. They defeated Pelican Bay 10-0, and Express Food Mart over Pat's Uniform 21-4 in the men's affair. The Hugo Braves are rolling on, folks. They defeated Gateway 14-13. Now the government, through the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, providing some wholesome activities for the youngsters this summer. A series of camps are being held, and our Joan Davis Roll took in one at the St. George's Gym.
Young campers are lighting up the hoops at St. George's Gymnasium, this as they discover how to maximize their talents on the basketball court. These campers are not only learning the fundamentals of basketball, but camp coordinator Denzel Knowles says youngsters are developing skills while having fun.
Camp, it's been good. The children come out, they work hard. We teach them discipline and hard work. That's the key to success. That's what you need to do. You can't be lazy. You can't have bad attitudes. You have to come out there and work hard every day. Some people, they don't want to work hard every day, just some days, but you got to do it every day.
Knowles, who is into his junior year at Weber International University in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, is using the camp to advance his dream and positively impact the lives of our nation's youth.
I aspire to be a coach, graduating about a year, and I start my coaching career hopefully. And so this was a good, a good way to start something, put on your resume and all. So it was a good starting point.
Participants Jerome Daines and Kivano Solomon say for them the camp is serious business.
It's a very good experience to work out, get a good workout, and a good sweat, and get your game up.
It's a pretty good camp. It more focuses on skill rather than anything else, playing games and what's not, trying to develop the player.
Joan Davis Rowe, 7S Total Sports.
And let me tell you, I got to say to this, folks, that there is a guy who's home. His name is Dr. Rutherford Keno is here as well. He's a true Laker fan. And here's why I want to say this to Shashina. He is from L.A. He pulls for the Lakers, goes to the Lakers game. He doesn't go and buy them Lakers shirt at the flea market in Miami and come back and say they're a Laker fan. That's sports.